Me, 26, loudmouth feminist. Married 2.5 years. Husband's name is Ethan. He's an electrical engineer. I'm a brand coordinator at a tiny SaaS startup that runs on caffeine and panic. Ethan's the smart with systems type, can look at a thing, hear a noise, and immediately start narrating a documentary about it. Cars, laptops, home repairs, routers, you name it. Used to think it was kinda nice, like having a walking user manual in the house. Then I start reading more feminist stuff, online threads about mansplaining examples, definitions, how it's not help. It's condescension dressed up as help. And suddenly my brain starts replaying every time Ethan launches into a lecture without me asking, without me needing it, like he assumes I'm clueless by default. I start noticing it everywhere, how often he jumps in, how fast he starts, well, actually, in how he talks, like he's explaining gravity to a golden retriever, and it starts getting under my skin. Not because I hate learning, because I hate the assumption. So I decide I'm setting a boundary immediately. One day my car starts making this weird, rattly whine. I mention it casually, not even worried, just like, that's new. Ethan instantly kicks into TED Talk mode, starts listing possible causes, belt tension, bearing wear, different pitches, meaning different components, what to check, what not to ignore, and I cut him off. Mid-sentence, tell him I didn't ask for an explanation. I just mentioned a noise. Tell him he's mansplaining, assuming I can't figure it out because I'm a woman. He just freezes confused face. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just trying to help you figure out what it is. I tell him help without being asked is still mansplaining, still condescending. I was concerned about your safety. It's your car. I say, I'll handle it. I don't need him explaining everything in my life. He goes quiet like full shutdown. Doesn't say another word about the car. Doesn't ask later. Doesn't follow up. Just drops it fast forward a week. My computer starts acting. Possessed, slow freezing, randomly stalling like it's thinking about its childhood trauma. I mention it while Ethan's on his laptop at home. He looks up. I see him start to open his mouth. Then he stops. Closes it, goes right back to his screen. No, try this. No, it might be that. Nothing. So I go, do you have any idea what's wrong with it? He doesn't even look over. No, not really. And keeps working. I'm instantly annoyed because I know he knows he's always known, he's just not doing it now because of the mansplaining thing. I tell myself, fine, I'll Google it, I'll fix it myself. Because I'm not some helpless cartoon character. Spend 3 hours trying every dumb internet fix, restart, update, scan, settings, menus, buried inside, settings, menus, nothing works. Computer, still a brick with a keyboard. Another day garbage disposal, stops working, won't turn on. I'm in the kitchen with tools everywhere, half my body shoved under the sink, trying to look like I'm totally confident and not improvising a disaster. Ethan walks in, sees me, watches for a second, and then starts to leave without saying a single thing. I slide out from under the sink and go, do you know what might be wrong with this? He stops, doesn't come over, just stands there like he's waiting for a timer to end. Maybe. And that's it. No elaboration, no check the reset button, no is it jammed, just maybe. Like he's doing a minimalist art performance. I ask him to tell me what he thinks it is so I can fix it. He hits me with, I don't want to mansplain to you. You told me to stop. I feel my blood pressure climb through the ceiling because right now I actually need help. This isn't some random unsolicited lecture. I'm literally asking. I tell him if I'm requesting it, it's not mansplaining. It's just a partner helping. He shrugs. I don't want to assume you can't figure it out on your own. And I realize what's happening. This is a pattern now. He's not explaining anything, ever, even when I'm clearly struggling, even when he obviously knows the answer. He just sits back and watches me grind my face against problems like he's proving a point with silence. Week after that, I'm building an IKEA cabinet. Instructions look like ancient hieroglyphics drawn by a sleep-deprived alien. I've got parts everywhere, 2 screws left over, and no clue if that's normal. Ethan's on the couch 5 feet away, perfect angle to see me dying. And he says nothing, not a single, want a hand? I finally ask him to help me understand the steps, because the diagrams make no sense. He doesn't move. You told me to stop mansplaining. I'm respecting your boundary. I tell him this is different. I'm directly asking for help. Right now, he goes, how am I supposed to know when explaining is helping versus mansplaining? And then he throws my own words back at me. Helping without being asked is mansplaining, remember? Tax season shows up joint filing forms everywhere, numbers that might as well be in another language. Ethan's usually the one who walks me through it because he's good with math. I'm at the table with papers spread out staring at one section, like it's personally insulting me. Ethan glances over. I can see it in his face. He knows I'm stuck. I wait for the usual, the little explanation, the quick fix. Instead, he looks back down at his phone. Silent, like I'm not even there. I ask him to explain the part. I don't understand. He says, I don't want to condescend to you by explaining something you should know. I'm like, dude, I'm asking. That's the whole point. It's not condescending. If I requested it, it's just being a helpful partner. And he goes, calm as anything. Helping without being asked is mansplaining, according to you. And it finally clicks. I built a world where he's afraid to share anything. Because any explanation could turn into a landmine, I called it mansplaining. So now he explains nothing, even when I genuinely need help, because he's convinced I'll attack him for opening his mouth. Feels stuck in this stupid between space. I need his actual expertise sometimes, but I don't want the automatic, let me educate you, little lady tone, except now it's not tone, it's nothing like, I flipped a switch and killed the whole feature. I honestly thought calling it out would just teach him timing, like ask first, like check if I want the rundown. Instead, he just went full blackout. No explaining ever, even when I'm explicitly asking. Then my friend Kara comes over, she's messing with her phone, all annoyed. Why is my storage full? I barely have anything, she asks Ethan. And I swear to God, he turns into the Ethan. I'm married, patient, helpful, calm voice walks her through settings, like it's nothing. Shows her exactly what to delete, explains what caches are, what backups do, how to stop apps from hoarding space. Kara's nodding like she's in a tutorial. She thanks him, genuinely. You're so good at this, seriously. And I'm standing there watching, feeling my stomach tighten, because he hasn't spoken to me like that in months. She leaves, door closes, and I ask the obvious question, why can you explain it to her, but not to me? He doesn't even look guilty. He just says it straight, because she doesn't accuse me of mansplaining when I try to help. Then he adds, she appreciates it instead of treating it like an attack. He finally looks at me, eyes tired. I'm tired of walking on eggshells. I'm tired of wondering if helping you is going to start a fight. And it hits me hard. I didn't train him to be quiet in general. I trained him to be quiet with me. He'll help anyone else, just fine, just not his wife. Couple weeks later, we're planning a vacation, nothing fancy, just trying to book flights without losing my mind. The website is a nightmare. Tabs, options, seat, bundles, insurance, pop-ups, basic economy, warnings. Like, I'm signing a waiver, Ethan books travel for work. Sometimes I know he can do this in 2 minutes. I struggle for like half an hour, getting more and more irritated. He's sitting right next to me on the couch watching a video. Completely calm, I finally say, can you help me book these flights? I can't figure it out. He reaches for the laptop, then pulls his hand back like it's a hot stove. You got this. Figure it out. I stare at him. Ethan, I've been trying for 30 minutes. Just help me right now. He goes, deadpan. I'm not allowed to help. And I already know what he means. Helping without being asked is mansplaining, remember? I'm like, I am asking you, right now. So it's not mansplaining. It's requested. He leans back. Last time I helped when you asked, you got mad, halfway through my explanation. And I hate that he's not wrong. Later I'm trying to set up my retirement stuff. At work, benefits portal. Looks like it was designed by a board accountant in 2009. Words everywhere, expense ratios, index funds, target date funds, allocation. And I'm sitting there like I'm reading a spell book. Ethan's always been weirdly into finance stuff. Not his job, but he's the guy who actually reads about it. Used to love explaining it to me. So I mention I'm confused, half expecting the old Ethan to show up. He just nods, doesn't offer anything. I wait nothing. He goes, it's good luck with that, and goes back to his phone. And that pisses me off. Because this is my future. This is not a trivia quiz. I ask him directly, can you explain these terms so I don't mess this up? He sighs like I just assigned him homework, then gives the shortest possible answers. Expense ratio is a fee. Index fund tracks an index. Target date adjusts over time. No context, no examples, no, here's how to choose. Just bare bones definitions like, He's trying to be technically correct without being helpful, and I can tell he's doing it on purpose, like he's punishing me with compliance. Our whole dynamic is different now. He used to be engaged. He used to share what he knew. He used to feel like my partner. Now I feel like I'm navigating life solo with a roommate who refuses to open his mouth around me. I didn't realize how much I leaned on his explanations until they stopped existing. I thought I was setting a healthy boundary. Instead, I nuked communication. He's not mansplaining anymore, but he's also not being supportive, not being present, just checked out. And yeah, I got exactly what I asked for. Turns out I didn't actually want this at all. Meanwhile, the car noise I dismissed gets worse because I never dealt with it. When he first tried to help, eventually I take it to a mechanic. Guy listens for like 10 seconds, then starts explaining what it is, and every word feels like a slap. Because it's exactly what Ethan tried to tell me that first day. Except now, it's not a cheap fix. Now it's an expensive repair, cost me $1,350. I come home furious at the universe. Tell Ethan the price, he doesn't say, told you so. But I see it in his face for half a second. Then it's gone, he just nods. That sucks. Sorry it cost that much. No follow-up, no, watch for this next time, no, here's how to prevent it. Just accepts that I'll learn the expensive way again. Later, I'm out with friends and Kara's talking about her husband. I'm so lucky, he teaches me stuff all the time. Car maintenance, investing, home repairs. Like, I actually feel confident now. Everyone's smiling like that's adorable, and I'm just sitting there jealous as hell. Because Ethan used to do that for me, and I shut it down so hard he never came back. After that night with Kara's lucky me speech, it finally sinks in. How twisted this got. She's not weaker because her husband explains stuff. She's sharper, more capable because she's been absorbing info for years. Meanwhile, I'm out here paying idiot tax and pretending it's empowerment. Same behavior, completely different outcome because of how it lands. She receives it like teamwork. I received it like disrespect. And the scoreboard is brutal. So I bring it up to Ethan, not in a fight. Way more like, tired. I miss when you used to explain things to me. He doesn't even look smug, he looks sad. I miss it too. Then he immediately adds, but I'm not doing the mansplaining thing again. I tell him I get it, now that he was trying to help. Not trying to talk down to me, that I can see the difference now. And he hits me with the same line he's been using like armor. How am I supposed to know when you'll appreciate it versus get angry? I can't read your mind. I can't guess if an explanation is welcome or if it's going to be a fight. He says it's easier to just not explain anything than to guess wrong and get punished for it. I ask if we can just start over like a reset, like we can go back to how it was before I turned everything into a courtroom. He says no. Flat not mean just final, I don't trust that you won't throw it in my face again. And that's when I realize what I actually broke. It wasn't his ego. It was his trust, helping me used to feel safe for him. Now it feels like stepping on a rake fast forward like 11 months, and we're still living in this weird, cold agreement. He doesn't explain anything to me. Ever. I've basically trained myself to Google everything, or ask coworkers, or text my brother, or watch some guy on YouTube who talks like he's eating the microphone. Anything except asking my own husband, because I already know what I'll get. Silence or the shortest possible answer, with zero warmth and the messed up part. He still explains things freely to everyone else. Friends, co-workers, random people at parties. He'll be patient, detailed, even enthusiastic. Just not with me. With me, he's cautious, guarded, like he's trying not to set off an alarm. Our relationship feels more distant because of it. We don't have those little teaching moments anymore. The, come here, look at this stuff. Him showing me how something works. Me asking questions. Us laughing when I mess it up. It used to be this weird bonding thing. Now we just coexist, two adults in the same apartment, running parallel schedules. And the worst realization hits late at night. Sometimes those explanations weren't always about him thinking I was stupid. A lot of them were him sharing himself, his interests, his brain, his world, trying to pull me into it. And I treated it like an insult, like he was attacking my intelligence when half the time he was just excited or trying to connect. It was intimacy wearing a practical outfit, and I called it condescension. So now we're basically roommates who happen to file taxes together instead of partners who learn together. And, yeah, I still can't bring myself to apologize straight up, because that means admitting I was wrong. It means saying out loud that my boundary did real damage, maybe permanent damage. And it's easier to act like this is just how we are now, to live with the distance, to pretend I prefer independence than to say, I messed up, and watch him decide what to do with that. But it's lonely. Lonely in a marriage where my husband won't share himself with me anymore. I'll see other couples, some guy explaining something to his wife, in the kitchen, not patronizing, just normal. And she's listening, asking questions, roasting him a little, they're learning together, they're bonding, and I get this ugly, jealous feeling in my chest. Because we used to have that, and I killed it on purpose. I told myself I was setting boundaries, but really, I was building walls. Now, I'm on one side, he's on the other, and neither of us knows how to get back without someone admitting it first.